You're a prisoner, not behind bars, not in chains you can see. You're imprisoned by the opinions of people who don't matter, by the judgment of strangers, by the fear of what they might think, and it's destroying you. Every decision you make, filtered through the lens of their approval. Every dream you abandon because they might laugh. Every word you swallow because they might judge. The ancient Stoics called this the ultimate slavery. And they discovered something radical 2,000 years ago that most people will never understand. Freedom isn't about doing whatever you want. It's about becoming unshakable in the face of judgment. By the end of this video, you'll discover the exact mental framework Marcus Aurelius used to rule the Roman Empire while remaining completely immune to the chaos of public opinion. And I'll reveal the one exercise Epictetus taught that can permanently break you free from the need for external validation. But first, you need to understand why this problem is killing your potential. Here's the uncomfortable truth. You've been programmed since childhood to seek approval. Your parents praised you when you behaved. Your teachers rewarded conformity. Your peers accepted you only when you fit in. Social media turned validation into a dopamine slot machine. And now, you're an adult carrying an invisible scoreboard in your mind, constantly calculating what they think. You don't speak up in meetings because what if they think you're stupid? You don't start that business because what if they think you're delusional? You don't end that toxic relationship because what if they think you're a quitter? You don't pursue your real dreams because what if they think you're not good enough? This is what the Stoics called living for the gallery. Performing your entire life for an audience that doesn't even care about you. And here's what makes this even more insidious. The people whose opinions you fear the most are often the ones doing the least with their own lives. Think about it. The person judging your career move is stuck in a job they hate. The family member criticizing your choices has never taken a risk themselves. The online stranger mocking your work is hiding behind anonymity because they're too afraid to create anything. You're letting people who lack the courage to build their own lives dictate how you build yours. Marcus Aurelius understood this at the deepest level. As Emperor of Rome, he had millions of people with opinions about him, senators plotting against him, citizens demanding things from him, historians ready to judge every decision. And yet in his private journal, what we now call Meditations, he wrote something that changed everything. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment. Read that again. The pain isn't the judgment. The pain is your belief that the judgment matters. This is the gateway to freedom. But to walk through it, you need to understand something the Stoics called the dichotomy of control. Epictetus, born a slave who became one of the most influential philosophers in history, taught a principle so powerful that it's been used by everyone from Roman emperors to modern Navy SEALs. He divided all of life into two categories: things within your control and things outside your control. Here's what you control: your thoughts, your actions, your intentions, your effort, your character, your values, your response to events. Here's what you don't control: what other people think, what they say, how they judge you, whether they approve, whether they respect you, what they post online, what they whisper behind your back. Most people spend 90% of their mental energy on things in the second category, on things they cannot control. This is insanity. It's like trying to change the weather by worrying about it. It's like screaming at traffic to move faster. It's complete powerlessness disguised as concern. The Stoics had a radical solution. Withdraw all your energy from what you cannot control. Invest it completely in what you can. Seneca put it this way: we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. That criticism you fear, it's happening in your imagination. That judgment you're avoiding, it's a ghost. That rejection you're scared of, it's a story you're telling yourself. And even when the criticism comes, even when someone actually judges you, Here's the Stoic truth that will set you free. Their opinion is their problem, not yours. Let me explain what I mean. When someone judges you, they're revealing their values, their insecurities, their worldview, not yours. The person who criticizes your ambition reveals they've given up on their own. The person who mocks your vulnerability reveals they're too afraid to be authentic. The person who judges your unconventional path reveals they lack the courage to leave the beaten road. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. They are like this because they can't tell good from evil." Notice what he's doing here. He's not surprised by judgment. He's not wounded by it. He's not trying to change it. He's simply recognizing that most people operate from confusion. They don't understand what actually matters, so their opinions are worthless. This doesn't make you arrogant. It makes you free. But here's where most people get this wrong. They think freedom from judgment means becoming cold, isolated, or antisocial. Wrong. The Stoics weren't hermits. Marcus ruled an empire. Seneca was a political advisor. Epictetus taught thousands of students. They engaged with society. They just refused to let society's opinions dictate their worth. There's a massive difference between being open to feedback and being enslaved by approval. Feedback from people you respect, who have expertise, who want you to succeed, that's valuable. That's wisdom. But the random judgment of the crowd, the opinions of people who don't know you, don't understand your goals, haven't walked your path, that's noise. And the Stoics mastered the art of filtering signal from noise. Now, I promised you the one exercise that can break you free from the need for validation. The technique Epictetus actually taught his students. It's called premeditation of judgment, and it's devastatingly effective. Here's how it works. Before you do anything that might invite judgment, launching a business, posting your work, sharing your opinion, making a bold move, you deliberately imagine the worst possible judgment you could receive, not to scare yourself, to inoculate yourself. Sit down, close your eyes. Visualize someone harshly criticizing you. Hear their words, feel the initial sting. Then ask yourself, if this actually happens, what will change about my mission, about my values, about what I know to be true? The answer is always nothing. Their words can't change reality. They can only change your story about reality. Epictetus would tell his students, if you wish to be a writer, write. If someone says you're not a writer, let them. If you wish to be an entrepreneur, build. If someone says you're going to fail, let them. Their words are sounds in the air. Your actions are reality. When you premeditate judgment, you remove its power. You realize that the worst-case scenario is just someone having a negative opinion. That's it. No one dies. The earth keeps spinning. Your mission continues. And here's the paradox the Stoics discovered. The moment you stop needing approval is often the moment you start receiving respect. Why? Because confidence is magnetic. And true confidence doesn't come from being validated. It comes from being unshakable regardless of validation. People can sense when you're performing for approval. It reeks of desperation. But when you're grounded in your own values, moving toward your own vision, unbothered by the noise, that's rare, that's powerful. That's what people actually admire. Marcus Aurelius said, "The object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane." Most people are insane, chasing trends they don't believe in, building lives that look good on Instagram but feel empty inside, performing for an audience that will forget them in 5 minutes. Don't join them. Now let me give you the practical system. The actionable steps you can implement today to build Stoic immunity to judgment. Step 1, the morning declaration. Every morning, before you check your phone, before you enter the chaos, say this out loud. Today, people may judge me, They may criticize my choices, question my path, or doubt my abilities. Their opinions reveal their values, not mine. I am responsible only for my actions, my effort, and my character. Their judgment has no power over my mission. This isn't affirmation. This is alignment. You're reminding yourself of what's true before the world tries to convince you otherwise. Step 2. The dichotomy audit. Take out a piece of paper. Draw a line down the middle. Left side, within my control. Right side, outside my control. Now write down everything that's causing you stress, anxiety, or fear. Be honest. Is it fear of what they'll think? Put it on the right. Is it the quality of your work? Put it on the left. Then make a commitment. You will invest 0 mental energy on the right side. All your focus goes to the left. When you catch yourself worrying about judgment, stop. Recognize it. Say, outside my control, not my concern. Then redirect that energy to something you can actually influence. Step 3, the judgment journal. For the next 30 days, keep track of every time you hold back because of fear of judgment, every time you don't speak up, every time you don't share your work, every time you dim your light to make others comfortable. Write it down. Then ask yourself, what did I actually lose by playing small? And what would I have gained if I acted anyway? This exercise is brutal, but it reveals the true cost of living for others' approval. And that cost is always higher than the temporary discomfort of judgment. Step 4, voluntary discomfort. The Stoics deliberately expose themselves to discomfort to build resilience. Here's your version. Do something small this week that will invite judgment. Post an unpopular opinion. Share your creative work. Speak up in a meeting. Wear something unconventional. Say no to something everyone expects you to say yes to. Start small. The goal isn't to be controversial for controversy's sake. The goal is to practice being unmoved by disapproval. You'll discover something liberating. The judgment you feared? It's either less severe than you imagined, or it comes from people whose opinions don't actually matter. Step 5. The mentor filter. Here's the final piece. Identify 3 to 5 people whose opinions you genuinely value. People who have achieved what you want to achieve. People who understand your mission. People who want you to win. These are your mentors, whether you know them personally or not. When you need feedback, seek it from them. When you need perspective, consider their wisdom. Everyone else, noise. Marcus Aurelius had a practice where he would imagine sitting in council with the great Stoic philosophers before him. He would ask, what would Epictetus say? What would Zeno do? He filtered every decision through the values of those he respected, not the mob, not the critics, not the crowd looking for entertainment. You can do the same. Ask yourself, would my mentors approve of me shrinking because someone on the internet had an opinion? Would they respect me more for playing it safe or for pursuing my truth regardless of judgment? You know the answer. Let me bring this home with a story that the Stoics would have loved. In 1963, Martin Luther King Jr. was arrested and thrown into Birmingham jail for peacefully protesting racial injustice. While in that cell, fellow clergymen publicly criticized him, called him an extremist, said he was moving too fast, being too radical, inviting too much judgment. From that jail cell, he wrote one of the most powerful letters in American history. He said, "The question is not whether we will be extremists, but what kind of extremists we will be. Will we be extremists for hate or for love? Will we be extremists for the preservation of injustice or for the extension of justice?" He didn't defend himself against the label, he redefined it. He didn't seek their approval, he stood on his values. And history proved him right. This is Stoicism in action. Not ancient philosophy gathering dust in books, but a living, breathing system for navigating a world full of judgment with your integrity intact. The people who changed the world weren't the ones who played it safe. They were the ones who cared more about their mission than their image. The artists, the entrepreneurs, the leaders, the innovators, they all faced brutal judgment, and they all moved forward anyway, not because they were fearless, but because they understood what Marcus Aurelius understood. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The judgment will come. Let it. The criticism will arrive. Let it. The doubters will speak. Let them. Your job isn't to silence them. Your job is to become so unshakable in your own values that their words dissolve like rain on stone. This is the Stoic secret to freedom, not isolation, not arrogance, not pretending you don't care, but the deep bone-level understanding that you are responsible for your character, not your reputation, for your effort, not their approval, for your mission, not their comfort. So here's my challenge to you. For the next 7 days, live as if the opinions of others have zero power over you. Make decisions based on your values, not their validation. Speak your truth, not what makes them comfortable. Pursue your goals, not what looks impressive. And watch what happens. You won't become less connected. You'll become more authentic. You won't lose respect. You'll gain self-respect. You won't be alone. You'll attract the right people, the ones who value substance over performance. If this resonates with you, if you're ready to build an unshakable mind, subscribe to this channel. We're building a community of modern Stoics, people who refuse to let the chaos of the world determine their inner peace. And remember this, 2,000 years ago, a slave named Epictetus became one of the freest men in history. Not by changing his circumstances, but by mastering his mind. You have that same power. Use it. The world doesn't need another person performing for approval. It needs you, unfiltered, unshakable, and free.